Okay, well, we'll get started now. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on the Philippines mining market. My name is Sheldon Varco, Manager of International Projects at Austmine, and I'm very pleased to co-host this webinar with our partners at the Australian Trade Commission, or Austrade. We appreciate your time in attending today's webinar, and we hope that you find the session informative and valuable to your business engagements in Southeast Asia. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which we meet today, which for me is the Gurungai people, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Next slide, please. The webinar today is part of our Southeast Asia METS engagement program, which is being delivered in cooperation with Austrade. For those who aren't familiar with your webinar host today, Austrade is Australia's international trade and investment promotion agency, and it connects investors and buyers with opportunities and capabilities through foreign direct investment and trade with Australia. They have a strong presence in Southeast Asia, including offices in the Philippines, Indonesia, and Vietnam, which are some of the key mining markets in the region. Austmine is the leading industry association for the Australian mining equipment, technology and services, or METS sector, and we exist to promote the global advancement of technology and innovation in mining and to support our members to achieve success. Austmine has a membership of just over 780 highly sophisticated mining technology companies and solution providers, and we support them through networking activities, international growth opportunities, and strategic industry programs. We're about halfway through the delivery of the Southeast Asia METS engagement program, and we will touch on more information about future activities at the conclusion of the webinar. Next slide, please. For today's webinar, we have a fantastic agenda lined up for you as we explore the latest updates from the Philippines mining industry. Tata Corpus, Business Development Manager Manila, Austrade Philippines, will provide a presentation shortly to set the scene for Australian METS interested in the market. She will overview the Philippines mining industry, outline some key trends and challenges, and identify some of the key organisations. Following Tata's presentation, I'll hand over to Louisa Rust, Senior Trade and Investment Commissioner at Austrade Philippines, to moderate a panel discussion. This will feature insights on primary METS opportunities, sustainability needs, and key projects from a fantastic panel. This includes Rocky Dimakialigan, VP for Communications and National Coordinator for Sustainable Mining at the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines, Paul Power, International Business Development Manager at TrueFlow Pumping Systems, and Lorne Harvey, the General Manager for Operations at Metals Exploration. We will then conclude the session with some final updates and reminders on our next activities in the program. If you have any questions for our panel, you can submit those via the Q&A box at any time. Next slide, please. Before I hand over to Tata, we would just like to set the scene by providing a refresh of the findings of the Philippines from Austmine's report on METS opportunities in Southeast Asia. This kicked off our program with Austrade at the end of last year. Some of these trends and opportunities will be explored more throughout today's webinar, and you'll also receive additional insights and updates from our great speakers. So to set some context, it's important to understand that the Philippines is seeking to rejuvenate its mining industry following significant sustainability and regulatory disruptions in previous decades. The current administration is positioning mining as a central pillar for economic growth and development, and there's significant interest in learning from Australia, given our global leadership in mining and METS. A key focus will be developing critical minerals, especially the impressive nickel reserves in the Philippines. They've seen the development of what's happened in markets such as Indonesia, in terms of production and downstream smelting, refining and industries, and there's a similar opportunity to become a global key player in providing inputs for renewable technologies, electric vehicles and other associated industries. Sustainability is absolutely paramount in the Philippines, and in many ways, the mining industry and administration has been more progressive in adhering to ESG goals than many other neighbours in the region. And finally, there are some significant operations nearing the end of their mine life, which means rehabilitation and remediation practices are a strong focus right now as well. This is especially important from a community engagement perspective to demonstrate the long-term value of mining and to aid future project developments. At a high level, what does this mean for Australian METS? Well, there's three key areas in particular that Australia can support through technologies, solutions and expertise. So that includes exploration, which will be needed to identify mineralogy and drive investment in the next wave of projects, especially those innovations that can overcome harsh terrain and reduce time and costs for exploration. There's also, following this, a broad range of expertise will be needed to go through the design, development, and construction of new projects. So this provides opportunities for technical consulting, engineering houses, and software. And finally, any sustainability solutions that can also increase productivity or reduce costs will be essential to support industry development and to develop a mining sector that shares value across investors, suppliers, and the community. So that's a high level scene setter before we get the discussion started today. And you're about to learn a lot more from the team at Austrade and our great panelists today. So with that, I'd now like to hand over to Tata Corpus, Business Development Manager Manila at Austrade Philippines, to delve deeper into the Philippines mining industry. Welcome, Tata.
Thank you, Sheldon. Welcome, everyone. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next one. Good morning, everyone. The contents of my presentation would include the mining industry statistics, issues and challenges, opportunities, the major mining companies, and how Australian Mets can pursue these opportunities and upcoming activities of Austrade and industry associations. The map on the right is a map of mineral resources. Note that it does not show the location of nickel reserves. I will show this in the second slide. Next slide, please. The Philippine Mining Act of 1995 is the governing law for mining and unanimously passed by the Congress. The country has a total land area of 30 million hectares, 9 million of which is considered highly mineralized, but only 2.52% is covered by mineral permits. Only 5% of the mineral reserves is estimated to have been extracted. In spite of its rich mineral resources, the industry contributes less than 1% to the country's economy. What do these numbers mean? The country has a large untapped resources, so much opportunities for the industry to grow, and that the government recognizes mining as a priority sector. Currently, there are 59 operating mines and 61 non-metallic mines. The map on the right is a map of nickel deposits in the Philippines. Philippines is the second largest producer of nickel in the world following Indonesia. Next slide, please. Some of the positive contributions of the industry are occasionally overshadowed by cases or reports of unsustainable practices. In 2012, the government issued a moratorium on issuance of new mining permits and banned open pit mine. After 9 years, in 2021, the government realized the potential contribution of mining in the economy and so lifted the ban on open pit mine and ban on issuance of new mining permits. The issuance of mining permits, which usually takes 7 years, has been reduced to 2 to 3 years processing time. Because of strong anti-mining sentiments, mining companies have allotted budget for information, campaign, and education. As mining has an impact on the environment, the government had mandated biodiversity conservation and climate action in their social development management programs for all mining companies. Mining companies are now open to advanced technologies that bring out efficient operations while maintaining costs at low levels. Next slide, please. Now, this is the scorecard. Many companies acknowledge the potential of the country and so submitted the application to contract with the government to explore and mine the untapped mineral resources. There are 46 exploration permits, 296 mineral production sharing agreement we call MPSA, and this is where most of the mining companies are in this category. There are 6 financial technical assistance agreement, 239 industrial sand and gravel permits, 127 mineral processing permits. Again, what do these numbers tell us? The permit holders will require equipment and services in the entire mining cycle. The opportunities are not just in mining, but also in quarrying, constructing allied infrastructure, tunneling, and community engagement. For my discussions with resident managers and other mining companies, they require a lot of equipment, such as drilling rods, maintenance of ball mills, crusher, conveyor belts. Recently, a mining company approached Austrade looking for consultancy services for mine closure plans and asset optimization. The next slides I will present to you are slides about 8 metallic mine companies that account for about 90% of the country's mineral production. The companies are in alphabetical order, and most of these are members of the Chamber of Mines. Next slide, please. Atlas Mining Corporation owns and operates the Mako Gold Mine in Davao de Oro, southern Mindanao, and the Itogon Suyok resources, with 2 mines in Benguet. Apex has a high gold and silver recovery rates from both mines because in 2023-2024, the company focused and targeted lateral and vertical extensions of major veins. Diamond drillings, they performed diamond drillings for 46 drill holes underground and 19 drill holes for surface drilling. In 2023, Apex acquired Asia Alliance Mining Resources Corporation. This enabled the company to expand the current tailings storage facility of Mako Mine, which will be in full capacity in 3 years. Apex makes use of robotics, augmented reality, virtual reality for data gathering and evidence-based strategies and activities. Atlas Cons- Next company is Atlas Consolidated Mining and Development Corporation, operates the Carmen Copper Mine in Toledo, Cebu. They have 2 pending sites in Toledo and in Surigao del Sur, and 4 approved MPSAs, Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. These are 3 in Cebu and 1 in South Cotabato, better known as the Tampakan Mine, one of the largest untapped copper resources in the world, estimated at $1.1 billion. dollars. If developed, it can contribute 1% of the country's GDP. It will have a mine life of more than 40 years. Next slide, please. FCF Minerals is a mining company engaged in exploration, development, and commercial operation of mineral claims through the Runruno Gold Project in Nueva Vizcaya. Metals exploration, with a contract under the Financial Technical Assistance Agreement, is 100% owner of the Runruno Project. This is one of the most successful projects from greenfield to production. I'm pleased that Lorne Harvey will be a panel discussant, and he will give us the challenges and success story of the Runruno project. Runruno Mine Life, Runruno Mine has a life of mine until 2027, and metals exploration is exploring other sites in the Cordillera region. Exploration drilling may take place in 2025 in order to comply and initial resource estimate by the third quarter of 2025. ESG remains a core part of FCF Minerals Metals Exploration Strategy in promoting responsible mining practices, reduce environmental impacts in its operation, and enhance its environmental performance in mined out and disturbed areas. Fulminera Resources Corporation is one of the country's largest operating gold venture. It operates the Masbate Gold Project, which is owned by Philippine Gold Processing and Refining Corporation. B2 Gold investor is the investor, and its exploration budget for Masbate Gold is $3 million in 2024, including approximate drilling for 4,200 meter deep holes. The 2025 exploration will continue to focus on exploration of new regional targets located south of the main mine infrastructure at Masbate. An additional 2 million will be allocated to targeting new mineral projects highly prospective in the Philippines, leveraging off B2Gold's presence and operation experience in the country. A total of 2,000 meters is allocated to testing new projects. Next slide, please. Nickel Asia Corporation, mining and exploration companies. They have Rio Tuba Nickel Mining Corporation, Taganito Mining Corporation, Cajano Mining Corporation, Manikani Hinatuan Mining Corporation, and the Napige Mining Corporation, and two downstream processing. That's Coral Bay Nickel Corporation and Taganito HPAL Nickel Corporation. HPAL stands for High Pressure Acid Leach. The company has six exploration permits. Nickel Asia is currently maintaining the conveyor belt system at Taganito, Surigao del Norte. The company has a joint venture with DMCI Mining to develop a third nickel processing plant. Discussions are ongoing. The Nickel Asia and its subsidiaries recently secured a total of 11 awards from the Presidential Mineral Industry Awards from the Philippine Mine Safety and Environment Association. This underscores the company's commitment to responsible mining practices. Oceana Gold Corporation is the first Philippine financial technical assistance agreement with the government. It operates the Didipio mine in Nueva Vizcaya. The company is currently doing an advanced underground pre-feasibility study at the Didipio mine and is currently exploring the Napartan area. This is northwest of the Didipio mine in Nueva Vizcaya. Oceana Gold demonstrates their commitment to sustainability through partnerships and social investment supporting local business and agriculture. Next slide, please. Philex Mining Corporation, after operating Padcal Mine for almost 69 years, Philex may end its life of mine of Padcal Mine by 2027. This may be extended because there is an ongoing evaluation of reserves under the current drain tunnel. Philex subsidiary Silangan Mining Corporation is developing and constructing the Silangan Mine in Surigao. It is expected to begin commercial operations by 2026 with a mine life of 28 years. Philex earned ISO 1401 certificate, which demonstrates their commitment to environmental standards and prioritized good corporate governance principles. TVI Resource Development Corporation operates the Balabag Gold Mine in Zamboanga del Sur and the Siana Gold Mine in Surigao, both in the islands of Mindanao. They have a controlling interest in the King Gold Copper Project in Compostela Valley and Mount Labo in Bicol Peninsula. TVI is one of the most diverse companies because they explore and mine not only nickel but also pyrite and limestone. Next slide, please. How do you pursue these opportunities? Develop relationships on all levels with mining companies and agents. Attend mining events, participate at trade shows. There are two major mining events held each year in the country. Mining Philippines, which is held every October in Manila by the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines, and Mine Safety and Environment Conference held in Baguio every November by the Philippine Mine Safety and Environment Association. Do technical presentations to mining industries. During monthly membership meetings of Philippine Mining Exploration Association and mining luncheons by the Philippine Mining Club, collaborate with companies that offer products and services complementing your offerings. Do mine site visits. Experience show conversion rate is 1 is to 3. For 3 site visits, you have a success rate of 1 business contract. This is far more efficient than online and off-site meetings, which has conversion rate of 1 is to 50. Find the local partner. You will know them, meet them through exhibitions and referrals from industry players. Remain visible. I say this because Philippine Resources Journal is the only journal, comprehensive journal on mining with a circulation of over 1,000 copies, hard copies, and soft copies. Next slide, please. How can Austrade help? Um, how can Austrade help? Austrade services help business expand in overseas market. We can help you. We help eligible businesses assess market potential. Austrade can provide market insights, structure, corporate structure, strategies. We can assist you in export strategies, find your local partner, introduce you to corporate, technical, and procurement managers. We find valuable contact overseas. We have advisors in Australia and international officers who deliver our services, including 8 offices across Southeast Asia. For newcomers, for new entrants, new Australian Mets wanting to explore, we have the Go Global Toolkit, which is designed to help Australian businesses at every stage of their export journey. Next slide, please. Upcoming events. I'm giving these events with dates for your awareness and save the date. Next week, Austrade Manila will be bringing delegation to GRX Brisbane. We're pleased to have DNR Secretary Lois Saga to be in the delegation with the other 24 delegates from 12 mining companies. Mining Philippines by the Chamber of Mines in October 2025. The theme for this year will be From Policy to Progress, driving mining to innovation and investment. This will be an opportunity to reflect the growing momentum in the Philippine mining industry. CIBEC's mining mission in Manila is happening on the 17th to 18th of November. Austrade Manila will organize a delegation of Australian Mets to the Philippines with an option to proceed to Baguio for the Philippine Mine Safety to be held on the 17th to the 21st of November. The last two events are regular monthly events by the association, PIMEA Association, and the Philippine Mining Club. Next slide, please. Now, this is my last slide, and I want to give you 3 takeaways. The government is taking positive steps to remove the administrative and structural roadblocks and mining companies to operate within the ESG principles. Here are my takeaways. The Philippine mining industry is open for business. There are 59 operating mines, 61 operating non metallic mines, all committed to the principles of ESG. The mining companies are open and aware of high quality offerings of Australian mets. It is a challenge that Australian mets are more expensive than other brands. But if you articulate your competitive advantage, mining companies will see that it is good economics to purchase high quality mets from Australia. The strategy here is to have a relationship with the technical and procurement officers. The third takeaway is relationships. Foster collaboration. Building relationships is probably the most important skill that an entrepreneur can have. Relationships can bring client referrals, expand your network, learn from others, and it improves your customer service and satisfaction. In the Philippine setting, golf is a good platform to build relationships. the Philippine Mining Exploration Association organized a golf organized a golf tournament last month, and this was participated by 104 golfers and non-golfers, all from the mining industry. It's really a good platform to develop relationship bond with the mining companies. Next slide, please. This ends my presentation, and thank you for listening. Please feel free. The slide has my email address. Please feel free to email me if you have questions, and if you want to explore the Philippine mining industry. I now hand back to Sheldon for the next part of the webinar. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Tata. It's a very comprehensive and insightful presentation. Some very valuable key points there for Australian Mets companies, and some good advice at the end. So if Australian companies are heading over for business, make sure you bring your golf clubs as well. And with that, I'll now hand over to Louisa Rust, who's the Senior Trade and Investment Commissioner at Austrade Philippines. And Louisa is going to moderate a great panel discussion today. So welcome, Louisa, and over to you.
Thanks, Sheldon, and great presentation, Tata. Really fantastic overview. We've got a great lineup of panelists today. I'm really excited to moderate this discussion. Sheldon gave a good overview of our panelists. I'll just give a little bit more background on Rocky Dimakulangan, who is the Vice President for Communications and National Coordinator for Towards Sustainable Mining at the Chamber of Mines of the Philippines. Chamber of Mines is a really great partner for working with the embassy in supporting finding opportunities for Australian Mets in the Philippines market, and provides us fantastic insights. They've got a membership of about 20 of the country's largest large-scale operating metallic mines and companies in the exploration space. They're really committed to the economic growth and the success of the industry here, and also really so that the industry grows with sustainable development. We've got Paul Power as well, who's the International Business Development Manager at TrueFlow Pumping Systems. A fantastic company here with great success. Many of you probably are aware that they design and build heavy-duty diesel and electric-powered dewatering pumps suited to mining, quarrying and tunnelling industry. The company has been doing business in the Philippines for many years, supplying many of the majors that are here. And last but not least, we've got Lorne Harvey. Lorne joined Metals Exploration in 2019, based up here in the Philippines. He has over 25 years experience. Tata highlighted Metals Exploration. It's the 100% owner of the Runo gold project, and Metals Exploration developed this project from greenfield to production, and now they're producing over 80,000 ounces of gold a year. So fabulous to have Lorne here to talk to us about being a operator in the market and the experience of doing business here in the Philippines. But I'll go to the first question, which is for Rocky. Hi, Rocky. How are you going?
Hi, Louisa. Good morning, everyone.
Great to have you.
I'm great.
Great, and a wonderful backdrop that you've got. Thank you for pulling that up. It shows the wonderful natural environment that we have in the Philippines here. But Rocky, my first question for you, in the opinion of the Chamber of Mines, what's the outlook for the growth and prosperity of the Philippine mining industry amidst the current economic conditions and the challenging minerals development environment?
Okay, Louisa, despite the challenging regulatory environment, we remain cautiously optimistic about the prospects of Philippine mining. One strong reason is that we have a president, finally, who is supportive of mining. In fact, we were given by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. an audience, which is the first time for mining with a sitting president. to present what we believe are the key challenges in our sector and our recommendations to address them. These challenges include number one, long-term policy consistency. Number two, the long and complex approval process for exploration permits and mineral agreement applications. Number three, business continuity risks from local government units and communities. And number four, tax uncertainties and lack of adequate benefits to invest. We have recommended to President Marcos 4 action steps meant to address these challenges. First, a clear mining policy that will ensure potential investors' rules will remain stable whoever runs the government. Second, a much quicker approvals process for mineral exploration and agreement applications. Third, consistency between national and local laws on mining. And fourth, the enactment of a margins and windfall profits-based mining tax scheme if the imposition of new taxes is inevitable, to put the Philippine mining sector at par with other mining-rich jurisdictions. We are grateful that our government is taking steps to establish an enabling environment for minerals development, such as the ongoing efforts of the Environment Department to reduce the mining and exploration permitting process. President Marcos also certified as urgent to both houses of Congress a mining fiscal regime that is reflective of mining's designation as an essential and critical industry. We eagerly look forward to the realization of these initiatives. Louisa.
Great. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you very much for that comment. We'll now go to Paul Power. Hi, Paul. I know your internet was dropping in and out a bit. How are you? We got Paul there. We might go to Lorne just while
Good,
Paul's
yeah, I
getting...
think I've fixed it.
Oh, I've got you. I've got you, Paul.
Thanks, Liz.
Oh, that's great. Paul, you've got a lot of experience here in the Philippine market. Has there been any surprises or, you know, in your experience? We'd love to hear on that.
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear this end. Thanks.
Yep, great. Paul, did you hear my question? It was just, what's been your experience in supplying the market here in the Philippines and any surprises that you had?
I guess, and can you hear me okay?
Yep, got you.
You can hear me?
Yep. Yep, maybe Paul can't hear me.
I can hear you. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yep.
I guess for us, we deal in a lot of countries. I can hear you. So went to many countries in Asia. And have done more so to Indonesia for many years. So I guess I can draw the most parallels between Philippines and Indonesia. And Philippines is a much easier country to do business in for many reasons, understood. And because they have such a wide variety, high demand, that sits very nicely with Australian companies. So I guess it was touched on before by Rocky, the mining permit applications have been taking an extraordinarily long time compared to what we're used to in Australia. More opportunities, and we're starting to see a lot more now. So even just in this last significant improvement in our order intake from Philippines, from new projects. So I guess what I'd be saying to people is now is the time to get into the Philippines and explore what you can do with your product.
Paul, thanks so much. We've turned off your video, and that made it easier for us without the delay in there. It was great to hear. Yep. So we've got you loud and clear now. Great to hear that you find it easier doing business in the Philippines. We sort of missed a little bit on that. Maybe if you could just repeat a bit more on that point would be great. We've lost Paul now.
Yes. So what we're seeing is a significant improvement in business in the Philippines for us. Yeah, looks like you're not hearing me very well, unfortunately.
No, we've got you. Okay, I think we'll move. Paul, I'll give you a break for a second.
Yeah,
we'll move
projects
now
are starting
to
to go ahead more readily than for companies to be entering the Philippine market.
Yep. Paul, I think we'll move to the next question now. I'll move to you, Lorne, which is great to have you here. Lorne, can you provide us a bit of an overview of the Runo project? How did your business overcome significant challenges to develop and to maintain the operations? It's a great case study of going from greenfield right through to operations. So we'd love to hear more on that.
Sure. So those that don't know about metals exploration, we're AIM listed on the London Stock Exchange. We have only one gold mine, and that's situated in the Philippines. We started operations in 2016, and from this point, I can safely say that we are setting the benchmark for responsible large-scale mining in the country. We had a mission to be the most admired gold company in the Philippines, and I think that we achieved that a long time ago. We've won the presidential award the last 3 years. You only win that award if you're achieving world's best practice in environmental improvements, health and safety, and community development. We had an excellent safety record up until a few months ago. We'd achieved 9 years without a lost time injury. So the last time we had hurt someone on site was December 2016. Unfortunately, we had an LTI at the end of March. Our performance is operationally and financially is going very well. Last year, we produced 83,000 ounces against a guidance of 76. Our free cash flow was $96 million US, and our all-in sustaining cost was only $1,135. We paid off our debt last year, which was $170 million, and we have excellent relationships with government bodies, the community, and everyone else we need to. Saying this though, as good as things are now, this wasn't always the case. Back in 2019, production was only half what was expected against the feasibility study. The company had lost $48 million to that point in time. It wasn't able to service its debt and it was almost bankrupt. So production was only at 50%, and the mine was only producing about 45,000 ounces. So at that time, the board decided to place the entire management team, and the mine was turned around from that point in time. Interesting, we have a BIOX technology here on site. It's bacterial that we call BIOX, and we use that to break down the sulfide ore that's refractory, and this helps the leaching and the CIL. Interesting to know that the BIOX was not the issue, it was actually flotation. So what we had non-gangue sulfide activating over pyrite. So the simple solution to that was just increasing the pH level. We had issues with the frothing. That was a matter of just changing the collector from DSB to PAX. We made other improvements to the flotation circuit, which was a bottleneck. We put in place a downcomer. We increased throughput from 220 tonnes to 280. We improved the electrical reliability. We had critical spares on site. Yeah, there's a number of other things that we did to improve the mine to be where we are now. So that set us up for where we are now. and with increased profitability and cash flow. So we have used that platform to get involved in 2 exploration projects here in the Philippines, and we've just bought a company called Condor Gold, which has got a construction-ready gold mine, which we're just about to start construction now. We want to do business here. This is where our IP is. I live here. The CEO live here. This is where our people are. We're excited with the opportunities that this country brings, and we're fully committed to being here. The Philippines, it is a great place to do business, but it isn't as easy as what it should be. You know, to get around it, as was mentioned earlier, the president is supportive of mining, but we've yet to see that flow through as it should, so that the country is getting the economic benefits that it should. There's so many things that, you know, it's a safe country to be involved in. The infrastructure is good. It's got good weather, but the reality is it is not as easy as it should be, and it takes a long time to get things done, which makes it hard for business. And the reality is regulatory timeframes are important, and the impact to the commercial reality is can be detrimental if it's not addressed. So saying that though, it's we can see. Sorry, I'll just come back here a minute. So an example is the exploration permits. We at the moment it takes probably 12 months just to apply for an exploration permit, and there's also a requirement to get an environmental condition certificate as well. So that's a cumbersome, timely process, and that's not including the NCIP process. So what the NCIP is, it's a department that looks after the Indigenous community. It's the correct legislation. It's legislation that we do need to have in this country, but unfortunately, it does hold up the process, and in some situations up to 3 to 6 years. So that's an issue that needs to be addressed as well. We're applying for an exploration permit in country called JUPAX, and we started that process in April 2022, and we're still trying to get that exploration permit. We're getting close, but we've been getting close for a while. So that's just unfortunately the realities of doing business here. But other concerns are small-scale mining as well. Unfortunately, that's an issue in any developing country, and the issue you have there is where you're a responsible miner. It's taking a number of years to get involved in a project, where a small-scale miner can just start mining tomorrow. So that's obviously causing issues for the country as well. But, you know, despite all these challenges, we want to stay in this country. We're committed, and we are going to make a success. So, yeah, and we hopefully will be involved in helping, you know, reform where it needs to be, the mining sector in this country.
Thanks, Lorne. That was great, really comprehensive overview and highlighting not only the opportunities, but some of the challenges. You know, we do recognise it's still a complex operating environment here, particularly on the regulatory side. But congratulations on Condor Gold. That's a real indication of your success that you've had, and, you know, reinvesting into the market and the opportunity. Just a further question for you is around your procurement practices and where you might see opportunities for Australian mining equipment technology companies to work with you. I'm just interested as to how you go about your procurement and where you see opportunities for companies to maybe work with you further.
Yeah, it's really important to have a partner in country. It's not an easy business environment to come in on your own. So you know, it's important to have that partner who's connected and can show you the way around. It's not easy. There's obviously easier business environments to be operating, but there's also harder as well. So it's just a matter of persevering, and you know, we're all aware of what needs to happen to make the improvements here. Everyone's committed, and it's just a matter of, you know, making that happen over a period of time. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't offer any more insight than that.
Okay, thanks, Lorne. Appreciate that. I'll give you a break. I'll go to Rocky now. Rocky, among Asian countries, the Philippines, through the Chamber of Mines, seems to be moving faster than its counterparts in promoting sustainability. I know the industry, the large-scale miners have all adopted the TCM practices, and that's been really fueled by the Chamber of Mines and by yourself. Can you provide us some updates on this front in terms of the adoption of sustainable and responsible mining practices?
Yes, thank you, Luisa. You know, as if the numerous laws, rules, and regulations that we must follow were not enough, our members have agreed to adopt the Towards Sustainable Mining Initiative, a growing global standard for best practices in mining. As a way of backgrounder, TSM was started in 2004 by the Mining Association of Canada and has proven to be very effective in raising the standards of mining in that country. It is now being implemented in 14 countries, including Australia through the Minerals Council of Australia. Now, the Philippines, through the Chamber, is the first of only 2 Asian nations that adopted TSM, and the first to publicly report its members' externally validated results in 8 TSM protocols or key environmental and social performance areas. Last year, after 6 years of deliberate preparations, we fully implemented TSM, and about half of our operating members subjected themselves to external verification of their TSM self-ratings. The other half will undergo, or they're currently undergoing, external verification this year. The result of last year's validation, 4 of our members performed at par with global best mining practices in 5 TSM protocols. Filminera, Tata mentioned B2Gold earlier. Filminera Resource Corporation performed extremely well in biodiversity and conservation management. Philex Mining Company, the Padcal project, that is, performed exceedingly well in tailings management. TVI Resource Development Philippines, Canadian affiliated firm, performed well in water stewardship. And Nickel Asia Corporation's Taganito Mining performed well in 2 protocols, safety and health, as well as indigenous people and community outreach and social development and management. It's not been easy. As in any association initiative, there are different levels of motivations for members, but we're getting there. Hopefully, we go the way of the Canadians when they started this initiative in 2000. The first external verification of Canada in 2006. The public acceptance of mining was way below, and now about 80% of Canadians approve of mining. We know we have a long way to go, but we believe we've taken the right first step. Luisa?
Great. Thanks, Rocky. That was great. Thank you. We'll go to Paul again. I think we've got your internet. You're looking good, Paul. So I hope that you can hear me okay. Paul, a question for you is around where do you see the major opportunities for Australian mining equipment technology companies, and what advice do you have for companies looking to capture these opportunities?
Yep, just give us a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yep, thumbs up.
Oh, good, perfect, thank you. And sorry about, I don't know what happened earlier. So to answer your question, I hope I understood all that. I guess I can tell you what we have done and where we see the market going for our perspective. So we're predominantly in mining, and the mining market is certainly coming out of the dark ages due to the increased, or the decreased time to for mining permits to be approved. So just this year we've picked up significant extra business So, just from our own perspective, we can see things improving much quicker than they have in the past. So I think now is a great time for other companies who want to enter the market. And what I would suggest is that, yes, arrange to meet local companies who can assist your growth. So there's lots of experience in the MET sector in the Philippines, and so there are a lot of companies who would be willing to help you get into the market. The trick, I guess, is finding the right companies, but you need to go there. You need to network, and for me, I think networking is the biggest thing. So joining organisations like the Philippine Mining Club is an excellent organisation, and you will run into many people there who are either doing the same thing or looking for your solution. So I would encourage everyone to start there, and also to go to the expos, the 2 expos that are on during the year. But like any market, nothing happens overnight. So you have to be persistent. You have to call people through a variety of means, but you need to be there in the market, knocking on doors, to use a phrase, and just being persistent, and that will work, because the opportunities are there. So I hope that answers the question.
Yep.
In some way.
Just a quick follow on, Paul, just to address this. We've got a couple of questions coming into the Q&A. Have you, in Indonesia, I believe that there's a policy or a preference around supply or procurement of Indigenous domestic suppliers to the mining industry? Have you seen that practice in the Philippines? I haven't seen it, because I know that specific technology innovation is not available in the Philippines. It's required. But what's been your experience, Paul?
No, because we're seeing that in other markets too, but I haven't seen it in the Philippines at all to date. So no, nothing.
Yeah. Lon, did you want to comment on that question? You haven't seen any of those practices, or there's no regulation around it?
No, there's no regulation, but there's a program called SDMP. So it's 1.5% of your expenses that need to be allocated to local and host communities. So there's that program that exists, but there's no direct requirement, as you're just indicating, for us to do anything with regard to local people.
Yeah, local procurement. And then just another question back to you, Paul, around permit requirements or exporting the product into the market, as to what is there any, we've sort of covered off, there's no minimum local content, but any certain specific Filipino regulation or certification of standards that you've had to have with TrueFlow?
Once again, it's we're supplying pretty much our standard product. In Australia, the mines are a lot more prescriptive on what they want specifically from us. And I think pretty well all throughout Asia, they will accept a standard Australian product. If it's working in an Australian mine, they generally say, well, that's good enough for us. So no, we haven't had anyone come and say, look, you need to meet a particular standard.
Great. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, we've got 5 minutes to go of the webinar, and that's been a fantastic discussion. I'll wrap it up there, and I'll throw to Sheldon. But thanks very much to Lorne, to Rocky, and also to Paul. Really insightful discussion. Thank you very much. And I'll throw to you, Sheldon.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Louisa. And yes, a big thank you to Lorne, Rocky, and Paul. Really good thoughts, and capturing, I guess, the diverse perspectives there of an association, a exploration and mining company, and also a METS solution provider. So some really valuable insights for those in the audience. I'll just ask our team to reshare the slides. Thank you, and I'll now bring the webinar towards a conclusion. So if we can just go to the next slides, please. Next slide. Yeah, so similar to today, we have some upcoming activities which include some webinars on both the Indonesian and the Vietnamese mining market. And then later on and of course, as Tata mentioned as well, we have the GRX delegation coming in just a week and a half to Brisbane with a fantastic delegation there from the Philippines in particular. And later on in the year, we have some further training initiatives for Australian Mets companies looking at the region, and then those delegations mentioned by Tata as well. Next slide. Yes, as mentioned, so next week we have a webinar looking at the Indonesian mining market, which I know is also a key industry for Australian Mets companies. So that in particular, that will look at their positioning in that nickel production chain. And then at the end of May, we turn to the Vietnamese mining market, which is one that's still in its relative infancy, but has big plans similar to the Philippines to increase that presence in the mining industry and drive economic value from their mineral resources. So you can register for those just through our website. Next slide, please. And here's a bit of an overview of that delegation that is coming to GRX. So from the Philippines, there's 25 plus senior level delegates led by the Honorary Antonio Loizaga, the Secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources of the Philippines. So very excited to have her leading the delegation, and also we'll have Luisa and Tata coming over. So for those Mets companies, you'll be able to meet them face to face. From Vietnam, we have Masan High Tech Minerals, who will be sharing their roadmap for their critical minerals development. And we'll also be joined by Vina Coman, who's Vietnam's largest mining company, a publicly owned company. And then also we have some delegates coming from Freeport, Indonesia as well. So really good opportunity to connect with those in Southeast Asia. We have an international lounge on the GRX floor plan. So that is where you can come and meet and greet with those international delegates. And on the Tuesday, we have a workshop, which is basically a roundtable speed networking activity. So that's exchanges between what the Southeast Asian industry and companies are looking for in terms of technologies and solutions and capabilities, and then offering that opportunity for Mets companies to position themselves accordingly. So if you haven't already registered or for GRX, or if you haven't registered for that workshop, please do so. Next slide. And just finally, as mentioned at the start, our work with Austrade on this Southeast Asia Mets engagement program began with a industry report on Mets opportunities in Southeast Asia. So you can use that QR code on your screen. We'll also provide a link in follow-up for the webinar to download that report and have a bit of a look through, in particular, what capabilities the region is looking for. Next slide, please. So that now does bring us to a conclusion for the webinar today. In follow-up, you'll all receive a copy of the recording and a PDF of the slides as well. I'd like to say a big thank you to our panelists today, of course. So Rocky, Paul and Lorne, much appreciated that you could join us and share your expertise and your insights. Big thank you to Luisa for a well-moderated panel discussion, and Tata for a great presentation and scene setter on the Philippines mining industry. And of course, thanks to everyone in the audience who joined today. We hope you enjoyed the webinar, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks.